The Republican Party is at a crossroads when it comes to their next nominee, but in many ways has seemingly capitulated to Trumpism whether he wins or not. This was evidenced yet again at his recent town hall on Fox that outrated the GOP debate airing at the same time on a competing network.
But I went to Des Moines, Iowa. I was at the Olmsted Center, the media file room, second floor, right across from the spin room, Dom. And as I've confessed earlier on the show, I did not make it to the spin room last night. I did not make Ron DeSantis cry. I apologize to the entire audience. I didn't do my part.
I'm feeling a little let down, Curdy. I kind of feel like you owe me one.
Well, so did the bartender last night. So I was working with Melissa and making sure, because I was the primary drinker on third base. I had to make sure someone was tipping her, right?
Right.
She was a little disappointed. The post-debate party that you would expect at the Marriott downtown lobby bar was not to be. Didn't come to full fruition.
Was it as depressing as walking out of Cleveland after that very dark Trump speech
it was
at the
worse.
RNC? It was worse. Can it be worse?
It was worse in this regard. At the RNC, Trump was the nominee, and all the attendees they just walked out. They sort of were filled with gloom, but they walked out, no smiles, as you pointed out to me. It was the most insightful thing you've ever observed. Hey, Crudy, look around. Anybody smiling?
Nobody.
There was
smiling.
not anyone smiling in Cleveland
No.
after Trump accepted the nomination. And we were in the room. We were, at like balloon level. When they dropped the balloons, we were looking down at the balloons.
We were up high.
We were quite high, a little nosebleedish. And I think we broadcast, at least on stream that night. But when we left, nobody was partying. No one was boogieing in the park.
No, sad.
Here's the problem last night, from my point of view. First and foremost, you were not there, but, I can work with that. Secondly, Trump was not there. Trump was in Des Moines. Hell, I saw Trump's motorcade last night. He came flying by the Marriott about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. The other guys were still debating, but Trump's town hall, he was done. And the most troubling part, other than the fact, I picked the wrong event to attend, Trump looked pretty good. And that's a relative thing.
Yes,
qualified
please.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we need to maybe dive into that a little bit. What do you mean? Because I watched as well, and I did not come away with the same thing you did.
I started with the debate, and then I flipped to the Trump town hall, and then back and forth, and then I quit flipping. I just rested on the Trump town hall, and I thought that Donald Trump was given basically no pushback. Not that they were fact-checking anyone. Nate said to me, his big observation of the CNN debate with Haley and DeSantis, no fact-checking. There was no fact-checking. And by the way, you said, say hi to Caitlin Collins from CNN. We met her right down the road at the Orpheum here many years ago at a Bernie rally, I believe. Well, CNN didn't even send their best people down. She was in D.C. last night. She was hanging out with Anderson Cooper in the post-debate. They got Capitol Hill in the background. She wasn't in Des Moines. And nobody that was at the debate was actually watching the debate because they were watching the Trump town hall, at least for the first hour. Trump did a Fox News thing, and that clearly dominated. I've got a headline here from Iowa.
I got some numbers. Reuters reporting the CNN.
92 people watched the CNN debate.
2.5
of them stuck in the ditch.
2.5 million people watched the DeSantis-Haley debate. 4.3 million watched the Fox Trump town hall.
Nearly twice as many. So I screwed up.
Picked the wrong one.
Well, it wasn't like Fox News was going to let me in their little town hall event.
Come on, man. You used to be a fairly regular guy on Fox News.
I used to be. Now I've offended apparently both the Trump campaign and Fox News. The headline below the crease on the Gazette, Eastern Iowa's independent employee-owned newspaper, Don, picked it up in Cedar Rapids today. Iowans at GOP presidential debate, we're still deciding. What's to decide? It ain't Ron DeSantis, so Nikki Haley or go embrace Trump. And meanwhile, Trump supporters turn out at his Fox News town hall across town in Des Moines. And I got to think most of the political world paid more attention to Trump. And let's just say you're in Iowa and you're not a political junkie. You don't listen to the devil's advocates. You're our friend Tanya. And you're just tuning in for the first time during this elective cycle. And you got this debate and you got this town hall. And I can tell you, if I was an uninformed voter seeing Donald Trump for the very first time last night, he struck me as electable. And I thought he came off as electable. I was texting you in real time. I'm like, damn, Trump looks, relative to Trump
Looks like he was partying at Miami Vice, man. The sniffling, the snorting, the nonstop talking.
He's got allergies.
The fact that I guess I'm not surprised that the Fox News host didn't push back. I mean, I get that. They're trying to make up for their breakup from, calling Arizona for Biden. Okay, there's that. But the dude was bouncing off the walls, man. And it's sniffing it was my impression. I don't know what I specifically replied back to, but the dude's on something. So that aside, if you ever met a guy doing a couple of lines talking jawboning, that's what this guy sounded like to me. So then I wonder, well, okay, Crudy, if you see that, and I get it, and the guys talk.
Hey, maybe you keep different company than the average Iowa caucuser.
Perhaps. Well, maybe they should recognize, drug use when you see it. Because to me, he felt like he was on. It felt like he was on something. But anyway, I'm not judging. I'm just observing. That said, simply because the guy strings along 5 or 6 different points while he comes back to circle about the original topic, and the whole response is full of lies and spin and innuendo. I mean, any sort of fact check would show you that this guy is a talented con man, but he's full of it.
And a sucker is born every day, man. Lie to me. The vast majority of the American people are not sitting there trying to Google him and fact check him in real time. Here are a couple of the statements made by Trump last night to the Brett Baer and the Martha McCallum.
Yeah.
Best border in the history of our country. Great job on COVID. I don't get enough credit. He did say that. COVID took a little course change. Had to do a little course change because of the COVID. And, he also said that Fannie Willis has blown up. The whole investigation has blown up. And it's cost at least $1 million to her boyfriend. Now, this is the latest. I see these same themes being picked up by right-wing talk radio in Iowa today. Oh, the Fannie Willis, the Georgia. I mean, fruit of the poison tree. If Fannie Willis is dating a subordinate and paying him and they're going on vacations together, then this whole investigation, how can you trust it? It's got to be thrown out.
Well, because, of course, it doesn't take away from the 2 grand juries that determined that this was actually a crime and should be prosecuted.
Ron's leaving the race after Iowa. That part could be true. Trump pointed out he's leading Michigan by 11 over Joe Biden. And I bet there's polling that would probably demonstrate that, Dom. And he blames it on the EV cars. He's going to roll back those EV cars. No more EV cars, Dom.
Yeah, he also talked about
make American cars great again.
Abortion rights, people wanting to kill the baby after birth, right? This is also, again, not pushback. He also said, I did all these tariffs and China paid, billions of dollars in tariffs. No, man. The consumers, the American people, the people buying the stuff, we're the ones that pay the tariffs, dude.